What's going on, Steelers Nation? Buckle up, because today's show is about to light a fire under every Pittsburgh fan. There's a wild rumor going around, and we're gonna break it all down right now. So, imagine this. Someone actually thinks it would be a good idea for the Steelers to trade away TJ Watt. Yeah, you heard that right. Trade TJ Watt, one of the most dominant forces in football, for who? For Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin. I mean, come on what planet does that make sense for Pittsburgh? This idea came out of an article from Fox Sports. And while Terry McLaurin is absolutely a stud, make no mistake, he's a top-tier wideout in the league, it just doesn't add up. Not when the cost is T.J. Watt. The guy has been the heart and soul of this defense for years. He's not just good, he's generational. You don't just trade away a player who leads the league in sacks, forced fumbles, tackles for loss, and defensive impact since he entered the NFL. That's not something you replace with a wide receiver, no matter how talented. Let's break this down a bit more. McLaurin, yeah, he's a real one. He's fast, strong, has great hands, runs crisp routes, and on any other team, he'd be a clear number one. You pair him with DK Metcalf in Pittsburgh, that's potentially one of the best duos in the league. Top 3 easily. It's mouth-watering from an offensive standpoint. But here's the thing. Championships in Pittsburgh have always been built on defense. And taking away Watt from this defense is like pulling the engine out of a car and expecting it to still win the race. TJ Watt isn't just a Pro Bowler. He's the guy offenses game plan around every single week. His numbers are ridiculous. Since entering the league in 2017, no one has put up more sacks. He's over 100 now, more than Myles Garrett, more than anyone. He leads the league in tackles for loss, and his forced fumble numbers are off the charts. He's a turnover machine. You just don't trade that kind of production away unless you've lost your mind. And it's not just about the stats, either. It's about impact. When Watt is on the field, the Steelers are a completely different team. Pittsburgh wins about 2/3 of their games when Watt plays. When he doesn't, they barely win at all. That's not a coincidence. That's a direct reflection of his presence. The defense gives up about a touchdown more per game when he's sidelined. And it even affects the offense. The entire team energy shifts when he's out there hunting quarterbacks. Last season proved this. Once again, Watt goes down with an injury in a game against the Eagles, and boom, the team collapses. They couldn't buy a win. The numbers flipped completely. Fewer sacks, fewer takeaways, more points allowed, fewer points scored. It was night and day. And keep in mind, this guy was the frontrunner for Defensive Player of the Year before that injury. That's how elite he was playing. Now look, I get the idea of trying to boost the wide receiver room. The Steelers need more weapons, especially with Aaron Rodgers under center. But you don't solve that by sacrificing the core of your defense. There are other options. Go get a guy like Amari Cooper. He's a proven veteran, a great route runner, and a player Rodgers already respects. You bring in Cooper to pair with Metcalf and still keep Watt on the roster. That's the kind of move that makes you a legit contender. And that brings us to another key point. According to some insiders, the Steelers might already be zoning in on Amari Cooper as their main wide receiver target this offseason. One voice close to the organization even said it's basically Cooper or bust. That tells you how serious they are about finding the right fit. Without blowing up the defense in the process, the Steelers have already been active this offseason, making calls and checking in on receivers like Chris Olave, Romeo Doubs, Trey Palmer, and Gabe Davis. They're doing their homework. They know they need help. But they're not rushing into a blockbuster trade that guts their defense. That's smart football. That's how you build a team the right way. Now, if the Steelers do end up sticking with what they've got, that tells you they believe in guys like Roman Wilson stepping up in a big way. Roman barely played as a rookie, but he's shown flashes of being a guy who can contribute in both the slot and as a blocker in Arthur Smith's offense. He's not the biggest name, but his role could be huge, especially if they don't make another move. Calvin Austin III is another name to keep an eye on. He's got that elite speed, can take the top off a defense, and is a sneaky good route runner, but in Smith's system, blocking matters. That's why guys like Van Jefferson got so many snaps last year, even if they didn't light up the stat sheet. And that's why Roman Wilson could end up as the numbered option. He blocks, he competes, and he's got that dog mentality you love to see. And hey, let's not forget Robert Woods. The veteran is still around for a reason. He might not be what he once was, but he's smart, experienced, and reliable. If Roman doesn't take that step, Woods is there to be the steady hand. It's all going to come down to training camp and who earns the reps. So again, I get the appeal of Terry McLaurin, but trading away the heart of your defense for him, that's not the move. Not when you've got other paths to upgrade your offense. Keep what? Keep the soul of your defense intact. Then go out and get Rodgers another weapon through free agency or a smaller trade. That's how you make a Super Bowl run. And speaking of Rodgers, we've got to talk about the media firestorm after his recent comments on the Pat McAfee show. The guy said, plain and simple, that this upcoming season is probably his last. That's it. He answered a direct question honestly. And of course, the media lost its mind. Suddenly, everyone's saying Rodgers is selfish, that he's making it all about himself, that he's distracting from the team. Give me a break. When other athletes like Derek Jeter or Mariano Rivera announce a farewell tour, they get nothing but praise, but because it's Rodgers, and because of all the noise around him since the COVID situation, the reaction is totally different. Let's call it what it is: bias. The media's had a problem with Aaron Rodgers for years now. Ever since he said he was immunized instead of vaccinated, they've been trying to spin everything he says into some kind of scandal. But let's be real, this wasn't some big, attention-grabbing moment. Rodgers didn't go on the show to make headlines. He was just being real. He was asked a question and he answered it. That's it. And honestly, it's a good thing for the Steelers. Now they know what the plan is. Rodgers is here for one season. That's the window. You go all in. And then you prepare for the future in the 2026 offseason. No guessing, no drama, just clarity. But I wouldn't completely close the door on Rodgers coming back in 2026. Let's say the team has a huge year. They win 12 or 13 games. They go deep in the playoffs, maybe even get close to a Super Bowl. You think Rodgers is really gonna walk away if he's still healthy and feeling good? I don't know, especially with a coach like Mike Tomlin around. Those to have serious respect for each other. And if anyone can convince Rodgers to give it one more shot, it's probably Tomlin. So yeah, this next season could be the last dance. Or maybe not, but either way, the Steelers have to make the most of it. That means putting the best possible team around Rodgers. That means keeping TJ Watt. That means possibly adding one more weapon at wide receiver. And that means believing in young guys like Roman Wilson to step up and take on a bigger role. It's go time, Steelers Nation. Now let's take a deeper look at what this all means for Pittsburgh's offensive outlook heading into the season. With Aaron Rodgers at quarterback and DK Metcalf locked in as the WR1, the pieces are starting to come together, but the WR2 spot is still a bit of a mystery. And that's where things could get interesting. If the Steelers decide not to make any more moves, all eyes will be on Roman Wilson to step into that role. And that's a massive leap for a guy who barely saw the field in his rookie year. The staff clearly sees something in him. His blocking ability, his physicality, and his route running out of the slot make him a perfect fit in Arthur Smith's system. He's not a flashy name, but sometimes that's exactly what you need. A guy who's going to do the dirty work, help in the run game, and be ready when his number is called. At the same time, Calvin Austin 3 is looking more and more like the ideal WR3. He's explosive, he's smart, and he can turn short gains into big plays. He doesn't have the frame to be a top run blocker. But when the Steelers go into pass-heavy formations, Calvin becomes a serious threat. His ability to line up outside as a Z receiver and stretch the field vertically gives this offense another dimension that defenses have to respect. And then there's Robert Woods, probably not in line for a huge role, but valuable as a veteran safety net. If Roman struggles early, Woods can step in, handle the blocking duties, and give Rodgers a reliable set of hands on early downs. You need depth in this league, and Woods provides exactly that. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are circulating through the NFL that a seismic shift could be on the horizon for the Pittsburgh Steelers, with sources close to the situation suggesting that Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen might be headed to the Steel City. While no official confirmation has emerged, the buzz indicates that Allen could be arriving in Pittsburgh as early as next week. To finalize a deal, this would undoubtedly be one of the most stunning player movements in recent memory. Allen, a Pro Bowl talent known for his powerful arm and dual-threat capabilities, has been the face of the Bills franchise for years, leading them to multiple playoff appearances. The thought of him donning the black and gold is sending shockwaves across the league. Speculation is rampant regarding the potential compensation for such a blockbuster trade, with some insiders hinting at a package involving multiple first-round picks and key defensive players. The Steelers, traditionally a team built on strong defense and a formidable running game, would instantly become Super Bowl contenders with Allen at the helm, transforming their offensive identity overnight. The reasons behind Allen's potential departure from Buffalo remain murky, though unconfirmed reports hint at possible disagreements over contract extensions or a desire for a new challenge. For the Steelers, securing a quarterback of Allen's caliber would address their long-term signal caller needs in a dramatic fashion, providing a superstar presence to lead their offense for years to come. Fans in Pittsburgh are holding their breath, anxiously awaiting any official word on what could be a franchise-altering acquisition. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.